What Jesus is saying is that everything else is not the great I am. Everything else will leave you hungry. Everything else will leave you wanting. Everything else might bring either false satisfaction or temporary satisfaction until you get the ultimate satisfaction down. He says, I am the bread. Everything else, every other buffet you go to, every other stream you bow down and drink from will either be poison or temporary. Will either be false bread or it'll be temporary satisfaction, and I'm the only one that'll satisfy you. He's not just talking about the things that are false bread or things that are poisonous. He's talking about not just bad things, but he's talking about even good things that we turn into bad things, that we turn into idols. I'm married, been married, now for 27 years, 28 years, sorry, and I know. If she was here, she'd tell you exactly the day and our kids' birthdays and all the other things that it's her job to do. I'm supposed to just, but 28 years, I can just tell you, I adore my wife. I adore her. In the earlier service this morning, there was a lady right there in the front row, and she had her son on one side and her daughter on the other, and she was just going after the Lord Clark. She was just going after God. And I looked over there, and I just took my phone, and I just took a picture of her because she just was just in the shadow of her worship. In the shadow of her worship, her kids were just going after God. And I sent it to my son, I sent it to my daughter, and I sent it to my wife. I sent that picture, and I said, I hope you guys realize that you, just like this lady, grew up under the armpits of a worshiper. A mom who just went after God in everything about her life. What a blessing. I'm just telling you that to say, I love my wife. Anybody else married here, you love your wife? Yeah, good answer, quick. That's good. Good, smart men, wise men. But it wasn't like you just try to earn brownie points. You love your wife. So do you love your wife? I love my wife. But can I just tell you something? My wife makes a great wife. I was thinking about that this morning when I saw that lady worship, and I was like, man, I'm so grateful that I have a wife like that, a worshiper of God. My wife makes a great wife. She makes a horrible bread of life. She makes a great wife. She makes a horrible, a pathetic God. And that's what Jesus is saying. He's saying, you know what? If you try to make your satisfaction, if you try to make the bread of your life, your family, my kids are awesome kids. I love my kids, but they make horrible gods. My daughter is amazing. My daughter got married a couple weeks ago in Cape Town, South Africa, and I was getting ready to walk my daughter down the aisle. And I looked over at her and I said, I just want to tell you, I'm dumbfounded by the person that God's raised you to be. You're just amazing. You're not just a beautiful bride. You're just beautiful. I said, I'm so proud of you. I said, I'm just thinking this morning. And I told her, like, we're in the middle of wine country in South Africa. And I just looked at her and I said, I just want to tell you something. I don't remember one time where you ever lied to me. And she goes, well, I did. I go, well, you were good at it. I said, but listen, you're just, I said, I'm just trying to even think of like a time when she was so good and so pure and so godly. And my son, Rudy, we adopted him from Guatemala when he was 9. The kid is a baller for God. I'm just telling you, so heart for ministry and such I'm just telling you, I love my kids. I adore my kids, but I will not put them in the compromising position of saying, I'm going to double down on you being the bread of my life because they can't satisfy.
Hey, thanks for watching. To find out more about Houston's First, you can subscribe to our channel or you can go to houstonsfirst.org.